really like the fact that you hit on kind of diversity and inclusion of thought. And obviously, Goldman Sachs is viewed from the outside as something that's definitely dedicated themselves to a diversity and inclusive environment. How do you go about the hiring decision-making process to get that type of reputation in this space?
Well, I think it's important for organizations to really welcome and embrace the need for diverse perspectives, diverse views, and we serve our clients, and our clients are diverse, and our clients want to look at the firm and reflect on the firm as representative of all the diverse things that our clients are from all over the world, and so I think it's important for our business, but I also think it's important to really drive good decision making. All of that said, while you have to strive to have a diverse environment, you also have to hire the best people.
Yeah.
And you have to make decisions around who's the best person for the job constantly. And you've got to get that right. Those two things have to coexist. And by the way, sometimes there's conflict with that. Sometimes to move an organization forward and hire the best people, you're not moving as quickly as you want to have as many diverse perspectives. But you've got to find the balance, and I think it's important to do that. Having an inclusive environment where people feel welcome is something else altogether. And I think, if you have a diverse environment, that makes people feel more included, different kinds of people feel more included. But I think it's super important that you do other things to just make sure you're building a culture and an environment where people are accepting, supportive, and welcome. I think that's very important for all organizations.
Sure. So when you think about that and you think about how you get somebody that's been an entrepreneur in our case, and then we talked about from an M&A perspective, now all of a sudden you bring them onto really a shared platform or shared vision together. How do you continue to inspire those people?
Well, when you bring entrepreneurs into a big organization, it's a different experience. I think by and large, people that come into a large organization like ours are choosing to be a part of the organization because there are benefits to being in a big organization, and by the way, there are frictions to being in a big organization. Sure. And so you're choosing some of the benefits. One of the things that I think is super important when you talk about these things and think about these things is organizational culture. And people talk a lot about culture, but not always with really thinking through what do they mean. I think culture is something that's built over decades and long periods of time because behaviors are modeled across generations and behaviors become foundational. The values that support those behaviors become foundational. I think one of the things that's interesting is I know a lot of entrepreneurs that have very young businesses that talk about culture, but I think they're talking about something else. They're talking about kind of the feel of the moment. They're not really talking about are the foundational values built into the organization and have they sustained through enough generational change in the organization that they're really embedded, no matter who's leading the organization. So I look at Goldman Sachs and I say there's certain foundational cultural values, and we have 4 that we talk about all the time: client service, partnership, integrity, and excellence. Doesn't matter who's leading the firm, those values are embedded in the way people behave, the way they interact, the way they think about the organization. That takes a long time to build, and it's something you've got to invest in, and you've really got to have some set of parameters that kind of guide you as you try to build those foundational values into an organization.